Hi everyone, it's Scott here from That's English School 英語研究プロジェクトよくある間違いを分析します。今回のテーマはですね、割とベーシックな間違いなんですけれども、癖になってしまうパターンがよくありますので、早めに直さないとダメですね。1週間で少なくとも2回ぐらいは聞きますね。正しい言い方も、教えてもまた次の週に、同じ間違いを、してしまう方もいますので、どうしましょうその原因をちゃんと調べて分析して論理的に考えていきましょう。So, let's get this show on the road. We'll look at the problem, the reason, the solution, and of course, finish off with some lovely example sentences. Let's get going. First, let's look at the problem. I have many not like foods. I have many not like foods. Let's look at the sentence from two different perspectives. From a Japanese learner's point of view, you probably take one look at this and completely understand. I have many not like food. Not like って嫌いという意味だね。Food って食べ物のことでしょ。あとは many はたくさんだね。ということは嫌いな食べ物はたくさんあるということでしょう。簡単じゃん。If you showed the same sentence to a native English speaker, things wouldn't go quite so smoothly. I have many not like food. Let's see. I've never heard anything like this before. Why did you put not like before food? That's weird. I need some more time to work this out. It's like a word puzzle. So the point I'm trying to make here is, even although it might make sense to you, an English speaker is looking at it from a different perspective. Having said that, English speakers who live in Japan will be able to understand this kind of sentence because their brains have been accustomed to this kind of thing. But if you go overseas and say something like this, you might be met with an awkward silence. I have many not like foods. So, what's the reason? The sentence is a complete mess. Let's break it down into three parts. The first part is the way we are using not like plus a noun. There is a very important part missing from this construction. The main verb is like, but we need the auxiliary verb do. Do not like. That's a good starting point. So we need to find a way of adding do into the sentence. Now to the second point. We also have to think about word order. Do not like food. It's getting closer, but we have to put food before do not like. So it would be something like food, do not like. It still needs a bit of work, but it's better. The third point is, should we use food or foods? To be honest with you, this is the least of our problems, but because we are using many, which is used for countable nouns, then we should use foods. So we're nearly there. Let's look at what we've got so far. I have many foods, do not like. It's not perfect, but it's way better than what we started with. Let's look at how we can tighten it up a little in the next section. So, we went from I have many not like foods to I have many foods do not like. We need to add two more things to make it a perfect sentence. What are they? Well, first, we need to add a relative pronoun. What's a relative pronoun? Here's what I mean. A relative pronoun is a word that introduces a relative clause and connects it to an independent clause. Sometimes you need them, sometimes you don't. Let's take a closer look. Is this the book that you were talking about? Or, is this the book you were talking about? She finally met the guy who she talked to online. Or, she finally met the guy she talked to online. Teachers who give good scores are always popular. So, let's add that to our sentence. We could also add which, but it sounds a bit stuffy. So, here's our sentence now. I have many foods that don't like. The final icing on the cake, the cherry on the top would be to add I. I have many foods that I don't like. Instead of using have, a lot of people would also use there are. So we could say, there are many foods that I don't like. Many is a perfectly good word, but I think native speakers would probably use so many. Much more than just boring old many. There are so many foods that I don't like. We could also use quantifiers. Words like these. Lots of, quite a few, loads of, a ton of. Let's add them to our sentence. There are lots of foods that I don't like. There are quite a few foods that I don't like. There are loads of foods that I don't like. There are a ton of foods that I don't like. Let's take a look at 5 example sentences to give you an even deeper understanding of how all this stuff works together. Okay, the first one is this. Are there any foods that you don't like? I want to cook you something that you'll enjoy. So instead of using can or can't, it's much more normal to use the more direct like or don't like when you're speaking in English. Is there anyone in your workplace that you're not all that buddy-buddy with? If you're buddy-buddy with someone, it means you're really good friends. If you're not all that buddy-buddy with someone, of course, it means you don't really like them. Are you a fan of Japanese comedy? You betcha! There are a ton of comedians that just crack me up every time. So to crack someone up means to make someone laugh so much. When I was growing up, I used to crack up every time I saw these guys here. These are the 2 Ronnies. They're from the UK and they're absolute legends. I have loads of clothes that I bought on a whim. I'll probably never even wear them. When you do something on a whim, you don't think very long or hard about it. You just do it. It can sometimes end in disaster. Are there any types of people that you just don't like? Let me know in the comments. The next video for you is this one right here. It's about the differences between start and begin. They're actually kind of different if you examine them closely. I'll see you over there. Let's go.